If you had told me over 2 years ago that I would be here today, standing on the stage at Career Conference, speaking to wonderful and amazing women, I probably would have said you're crazy. Mary Kay came into my life at a divinely appointed time when I needed it the most. At this time in my life, I worked 40 hours a week for a home health agency as an occupational therapist, traveling across 3 rural counties in eastern North Carolina. My husband was a general manager for a corporate restaurant chain, working 60 to 80 hours a week. Our 2 girls and I were lucky to see him 1 weekend a month. My husband and I have been married for 8 years, and we have been blessed with 2 beautiful girls, Addison 6 and Riley 3. After 6 years of my husband working in the restaurant industry, I started to pray a prayer asking God to send my husband a job working 9 to 5, making the same kind of income. But you know what's so funny? When you think you're praying for a great plan, God has one even better. A year of praying this prayer, God sent me my Mary Kay angel. I was at church one afternoon, and my friend came up to me and asked me a question. She said, "Sandy, I'm so excited. I've just started my own home-based business with Mary Kay Cosmetics, and my director has given me a challenge to practice on 30 faces in 30 days. Tell me, Sandy, if I were to give you a free gift, is there any reason why I couldn't borrow your face?" At first I was thinking, I don't want to do this. But my consultant was so excited I couldn't tell her no. So I said, okay, I did not want to be the one busting her pink bubble. I went to the local Success Night with her and met Kristen Myers, an elite executive sales director at the time. After I tried the products, I fell in love with them. In 2 days, my pores were smaller. 1 month, 30% of my blackheads were gone. And in 2 months, my face was cleared up. After my facial, my consultant told me she knew that I didn't want to sign up for Mary Kay, but she was working on honoring her pearls of Sherry. And I said, pearls? Yes, I went pearl necklace, bracelet, and earrings, and I have 9 women listening the first month. I said, okay, I'll help you to win your pearls, but I am not signing up. I do not have time for Mary Kay. My life was robotic at the time. I got up in the morning, got the kids ready. I got ready, got the kids to school, then I went to work. I would come home from work, pick up the kids, feed them, bathe them, and get them to bed. Then I would stay up 1 to 2 hours doing paperwork for my job that I wasn't reimbursed for. And then I would lay down and fall asleep and my husband would come home. When I said I was busy, I really was. So I met with my consultant and her recruiter and listened to the career talk. When I heard I could get my stuff at 50% off, my interest was intrigued. I didn't decide on the spot, but asked for some career literature to look at and told the Mary Kay consultant to follow up with me the next day. Well, the next day came along, and my consultant's recruiter called me and asked, "So were you thinking pink this morning? I think you'd be great. Let's sign you up." And I thought to myself, you know what? What's the worst thing that can happen? I get my stuff half off. So I did it. I signed up. I immediately did orientation within 48 hours and thought it was all just a scam. They just wanted my money. At first, I wanted to run for the hills and never look back. I sat down and talked with my husband and asked him to look at the material, and he said, "Sandy, it's a business. If someone came in my restaurant and asked me for a meal and I told them it would take 7 to 10 days to get it, do you think they would come back to eat there?" No. If you want to be successful, then you need to start your business the right way. So even though I was nervous and a little apprehensive, I trusted my husband in my gut and came in with a star-level inventory. After I ordered my star-level inventory, I remember telling Kristen Myers, "If I order this, Kristen, this better work." She responded to me, "Sandy, if you work, it works." My husband and I decided I could work my business 6 hours a week. I made a plan to do 8 to 10 facials weekly while working my 40-hour work week. When you give your Mary Kay business the same respect you give your real job, it pays you bigger. So my first 5 months of working my Mary Kay business, 2 classes a week, 8 to 10 facials, I won my first Mary Kay car. Woo! I was so excited. When I won my first car, I started thinking, this Mary Kay thing may work. In November 2010, I was in DIQ and decided to quit my real job to pursue Mary Kay full time. In December, we finished our unit and debuted as a New York unit January 2011. In February, we won our premier car, and in September 2011, we won our pink Cadillac. Our team is on fire. We just debuted our first offspring, Pam Rose, and we have 2 consultants going on target for their car this month. Our goal is to have 10 women in cars by June 30th, 2012. My passion is to share the Mary Kay opportunity and to enrich the lives of others. Lessons I have learned in my Mary Kay business. Lesson number 1, have faith and seek guidance from your director. After Kristen said this, I thought to myself, okay, she's $1 million director. She probably knows what she's talking about. I probably should listen. I truly surprised myself. It was unlike me to trust someone I had met one time and spoken to on the phone a few times, but I felt that the Lord was telling me to move forward and to try it. The phrase Kristen said, in order to get something you never had, you have to do something you never done, kept running through my head. I decided to trust Kristen with what she was telling me and gave my Mary Kay business 6 months. Lesson number 2, get to work. Right away, Kristen encouraged me to do a power start. 30 faces in 30 days. Well, my first month, I missed my power start because I was too afraid to book classes. You see, I gained confidence from knowledge. And I was so afraid that if I did a class that someone was going to ask me a question I didn't know, I didn't want to look incompetent. But guess what I soon learned? If you make a mistake, people don't even notice it. Just move forward. You learn by doing. So the last week in June, I set a non-negotiable goal for myself to complete 2 skin classes a week. I averaged 8 to 10 facials, and I power started the second month and sold over $3,000 in retail. And guess what? It felt great. It felt great. I did it by even working 40 hours. I reflected back after my second month and thought to myself, you know, this makes sense, Sandy. You're a therapist. There's a biological basis to what Kristen is saying. You know the body works through repetition. That's how our bodies are designed. The way our central nervous system works using sensory input and motor responses to develop neural connections in the brain which form our habits. Okay? The best way to learn is to do. It's not meaning, it's not wishing, or resolving, or intending, or thinking about it. That will not advance you one step. You must do it. Lesson number 3, small successes build confidence. The more facials you do, the more sales you have, the more lives you impact. Will build your confidence. After 5 months of being consistent doing 30 faces a month, I won my first car. Find your why for Mary Kay. Why are you in Mary Kay? Is it to build your home? Is it going on vacation to empower others? When you find your reason for starting your Mary Kay business and stepping into the world of entrepreneurship, then protect it. Hold on to it. Do not let anyone or anybody take it away from you. Lesson number 4, step out of your comfort zone and stop trying to think what you know what everybody else is thinking. My idea of Mary Kay was stereotypical when I started. I thought of blue eyeshadow, old women, and pink cars. I did not have the respect for the company. I almost thought Mary Kay was beneath me. In order to get over this, I had to get over myself. Kristen would say, get out of your own head and get out of your own way. I had to immerse myself in the Mary Kay culture and surround myself with positive people. I had to stop focusing on being a people pleaser and work for the glory of God. We have a great product. It's the #1 skincare in America. You are building women's self-esteem through enhancing their beauty and the way that they see themselves. There are more female millionaires in Mary Kay than any other company in the world. Be proud to be a part of a wonderful company that can offer you financial freedom and more time with family. This is a gift. Do not let it go to waste. Lesson 5, numbers do not lie. Base your business on fact and work your numbers. You have heard the phrase, Mary Kay is not magical, it's mathematical. The average facial is $100. If you want to sell 3,000, you must do 30 faces each month. 1 out of 4 women who hear the opportunity sign. If you want a gold medal each month, then you need to have 20 women hear the opportunity talk. If you want to go on target for your car, figure your numbers. Work full circle. Book, share the products, and share the opportunity. You never know whose heart it's going to fall on. Lesson 6, a track number grows. Be disciplined enough to track your numbers and you will track your success. Use a tracking sheet your director provides. It works and is accurate. When I started tracking my faces at the beginning of my business, it motivated me. I wanted to be my very best. If I wasn't hitting the goals, then I had to look at the numbers I was doing. 7, learn the basics. Book, sell, recruit. Mary Kay said nothing happens until somebody sells something. A party worth booking is a party worth coaching. Become an active student. One thing Kristen Meyer said to me when I first started was, give your Mary Kay business the same respect you give your regular job and it's going to pay you big. I reflected on this statement. In order for me to become an occupational therapist, I had to study, attend classes, write papers, put up with criticism, stay up late hours to get my work done, and pass a national board test. As an OT, if I didn't go to work, I would be fired. I drove 100+ miles a day to see patients who sometimes didn't appreciate the information I had to teach them, stayed up late hours doing paperwork I wouldn't be paid for. Was it worth the effort? Yes. But with Mary Kay, you have the opportunity to work for yourself and get paid bigger and better, and you have the right to set your own schedule, increasing your flexibility. In November 2010, I was able to quit my full-time job, and I had more time with family. I actually had date days with my husband, and I have now exceeded my OT income. Lesson 8, set goals. Kristen would always say, without goals, a vision in your business will flounder like a fish out of water. As a therapist, we collaborate with our patients and set long-term goals. For every long-term goal, you have 3 short-term goals. Act on your goals. Develop a plan and stick to it. If your plan is to book 5 parties a week, then book 5 parties a week, even if you have to call 20 to 30 women to do it. 9, cast a vision for yourself. What is your goal? Is it directorship? Is it winning your first car? Winning pink Cadillac? NSD? Start envisioning yourself in the position you want to be in. If it's the car, go take it for a test drive. Breathe in the car smell. Make it real. Imagine you're sitting there in the car. Feel the air brushing across your face and hair when driving down the road. Hear the engine purr as you turn the key. See the goal is already achieved. Stay focused on it. Envision daily. Lesson 10, look up for inspiration. My 10th grade history teacher used to have a saying. She said during tests, you can look up for inspiration, you can look down for desperation, but never side to side for information or inspiration. We can apply this to our everyday life. You cannot learn from somebody who's not been there. If you need guidance, call your director. You wouldn't go to a dentist to get your eyes examined, would you? If you want to be a director, then start acting and dressing like a director would. Show up to your success night, be on conference calls, and support your director and national sales director events. This leads to motivation, and motivation is a catalyst for your business. Lesson 11, short-term sacrifice, long-term gain. You will have times when things are going to get tough or seem rough. Use it as a learning experience. God uses this circumstance to teach you so you can teach others. Be a problem solver. Lesson 12, the only way to fail in Mary Kay is to quit. Earlier in my career, Kristen gave me a CD by Julius Henderson. He said that you have to get passionate about your business. True passion shows itself in times of crisis. Mary Kay's husband died a week before debuting Mary Kay. He was her administrator, and she didn't know how to do any of the work. She could have easily quit. But she had faith and belief and put herself in a position to be passionate about her business. Entrepreneurship is a discovery of self.